We made it to the end of the day. Sorry I didn't check in at lunch. Okay, much better. So this was kind of like what I told them. And so what I did was, because when you go funny, so I had to pause because they were all like, good morning and happy Monday. Welcome back to my channel. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. I am very tired this morning. I stayed up yesterday to watch the Super Bowl, and by the time I got home and got into bed, it was already pretty late. It was probably like almost midnight, close to. So I'm feeling the effects this morning. We talk about how like the day after Super Bowl should be like a holiday for most people, but it is what it is. That's so sad. Yeah, so sorry, I just seen the geese that are usually around our area. It looked like one of them was crossing the street, and yeah, so, which is kind of sad too, because I know that like they are like protected by the government, so yeah, I don't know if maybe it was somebody that didn't see them at night. That has happened to me before, not with them, but like I've seen like in the middle like of the night driving home and it's really dark, and like coming out was like a possum or something, and I was like, and I totally didn't see it prior to. I don't think that like anything happened to it, but it was fairly close. Sorry, I saw that and I was like, oh, poor baby. Anyway, yeah, so it's just, yeah, it's like, and especially if like you were a fan of any of the teams, like even more so the reason to like have the day off, to recuperate from either like you celebrating a victory or you mourning loss. So I don't know. But anywho, yeah, I think my boyfriend, I'm sure if you follow me, you know that he's a 49ers fan. So he was not too happy, obviously, that they lost yesterday, and I felt really bad for him. I mean, he was okay, but like, I don't know, it was like weird because he got home and he was like that he wanted to like rewatch the highlights and rewatch the game, like not the game, but like the certain points of the game to kind of like see where they went wrong. And I was just like, it's like, that's such a coach thing to do. But you know, I guess if you're a really big football fan and you're a really big like team fan, like you want to know like your ins and outs of your team, I guess. But yeah, so he stayed up pretty late, and I think he said he was gonna still work from home, but like he said he was probably not gonna be as productive because it was just gonna be a day. But anywho, so yep, we're back here on Monday. I'm headed to school. I should be there in about 20 minutes, and just got to get myself together for this week. So this week we're supposed to be starting our debate unit. Well, I think the other 5th grade team has already started their debate units, and so I am kind of like a little behind, but that's okay because we're not all on the same schedule, just due to the needs of my students and what we're doing. So, and we take a little bit longer for certain things or whatever. So I think we're going to start that today. And then I think we're also going to start looking into doing our centers for maybe not today, but we'll probably start tomorrow. But like during our intervention block, I'm going to have them working on like their spelling words for the week, because I'm going to actually differentiate all of them. We're still going to do our making words activity, but I'm not going to take the words from those skills to do. I'm going to take the other skills from our spelling words. I just need to differentiate some of the words, because I've noticed that some of the words are still pretty easy for a lot of my high flyers, and so I need to kind of give them more of a challenge. And so I think that's what we're going to try this week. And so during our intervention block, we're technically supposed to be working with a group of students while everyone else is just like working, or from what I was told, just like silent reading for 30 minutes or whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna have them doing some sort of like group work in their group while I'm working with a small group. And so the groups that I've kind of put out there, so I have my intervention group that gets pulled out. I have my small group, and then I think I'm going to do some sort of like spelling activity, some fluency activity, like reading comprehension, and then I'm going to do a independent reading, and then maybe like a word, the word works was the spelling, but like a vocabulary for Greek and Latin words. And so I'm gonna probably try doing that. Sorry, just the sun is like really beating on me, and this thing is not working. All right. Anyway, so so I think I'm gonna just try that this week, but I think we're gonna start it up today, and then I do have my formal observation this week on Wednesday, on Valentine's Day. So we have my like pre-conference tomorrow, and so I haven't done anything really for that in terms of like the back end of it, like, you know, filling out all of the like necessary like questions and like all that. And so I should have done it over the weekend, but I didn't, because just everything, like trying to clean my house and then getting prepared for Super Bowl and stuff. So it just didn't happen. But anyway, I'm gonna head to school. I will check in with you guys a little bit later to see how things are going. Because like I said, I'll have maybe about 30 minutes to get my life together before the students come. So and I was like saying I should have taken the day off, because I actually was like in the middle of the night, like I woke up a few times. I had a really bad headache, and like I just felt so out of it. But I don't know, I think it was just too much food and Super Bowl. So, but hopefully I'll feel a little bit better today. I'm not too tired, which is nice, but I mean, I'm drinking coffee, so maybe that's kicking in, who knows. But yeah, I will check in with you guys a little bit later. I hope you guys are having a great Monday, and I hope that whatever team you were rooting for yesterday, I hope, you know, you still had a good Super Bowl, and you know, you enjoyed it. So see you guys in a little bit. We made it to lunch. I don't even know where my lunch bag is. Oh, here it is. So the morning was really good. We didn't do small group today, but I kind of gave them the rundown of how intervention is going to go. So we have about 12, no, maybe less than that. We have a few teachers out today. And so we're like, a lot of the aides and the people that do like interventions and stuff like that, they actually got pulled. So we didn't do intervention today, so I just had them working. I introduced their spelling packets with their new words. I did give them some other work that we're going to be working on in the span of this week. And then I did not get a chance to pull my small group kids, but I did pull a couple of kids to do some fluency reading for me. So that way I was able to kind of just chat with them a little bit. And so we also started our debate. I'm sorry, not our debate. Sorry, let me rephrase that. We started listening to videos and talking about like debating, and then talking about like pulling evidence to kind of formulate an opinion, so that way you can kind of debate about it. And so we started talking about because I think this unit for Lucy Calkins, she kind of like talks about chocolate milk in schools. And so a lot of the kids, we started just we watched 2 videos and we started pulling evidence, like the for part. And then tomorrow I think we're going to talk about like the opposite ends, like the against part of like chocolate milk in schools. And then they're going to kind of look through their thing to kind of formulate their opinion, and then they're going to like back it up with evidence. And then we're going to start talking about like how the debates go, because a lot of the kids like think that, so my hand's tired of holding you guys. A lot of the kids just think that like a debate is like, oh, hey, I give you a topic, you pick the side that you want and you do it. And I'm like, no, sometimes you're going to get a side that you're not going to like. And so it was just really funny because one of my students says, well, I wouldn't debate about Donald Trump because nobody likes Donald Trump. And I laughed and I said, well, if that were true, just going off of what you just said, I'm like, then how was he president? How did he win the Iowa caucuses? I'm like, people are actually voting for him. So there's some people out there that like him. So, you know, but that's kind of, it was a really good example of being like, okay, see, that's where we're kind of talking about where it's like, you know, people are just like, oh, you know, drink chocolate milk because it's great. But I'm like, you have to have some good facts. And if her and I were debating and she was talking about, you know, Donald Trump and saying that like nobody liked him or whatever, then it would be funny because I'd be like, well, that's my rebuttal. Well, this is how many people voted for him. He was in office for 4 years. These are all the things that he's done. Like, people still are voting for him even after. So, you know, it would just be, it's like, I got to get them to understand both sides of the fence. So, but it should be interesting. But I'm going to eat my lunch. I have to start doing some stuff for my pre-observation for tomorrow. So I will check in with you guys this afternoon. We made it to the end of the day. Sorry I didn't check in at lunch. I just was in the process of doing like my pre-observation notes and things of that nature. So I didn't, my kiddo decided to put the time on. So I didn't really get a chance to vlog or whatever, but my second half of the day was pretty good. So this was my second half. This was like all the information that we got for the 4 about should chocolate milk be allowed in schools. And this was the videos that we watched that were the 4. So tomorrow we're going to do the against side. And then so we even actually, because I think at one point in the interview, the gentleman was saying that like school lunches were healthier than home lunches. So we kind of just talked a little bit about like what some of the kids brought from home, as opposed to like what were some of the things that were offered in school. And so they kind of were a little bit talking about that and debating that as well. But overall, it was pretty good. They did work on their spelling work. We didn't do our making words today. As you see, my thing is empty because we just had a lot going on and I was trying to explain the debates and all of that. So we'll probably get back at that tomorrow, as well as continue on the against side. And then, yeah, I think that is it. So, and then we'll start doing those rotations. And then I got to work with that small group because hopefully tomorrow we'll have interventions. So I'm going to pack up and head out. My room kind of looks a little bit clean today. It's normally not this clean. Normally it's like there's a bunch of stuff on the floor, but today it's not as bad. And I think we ended like 10 minutes before the bell. And so that gave them time to like pack up and stuff. So I don't know. I think that might be something I might do and just make sure that they're cleaning up and getting all their stuff together before we leave. Because I think they start calling our buses at like 3:25. And so, I mean, technically we only have 5 minutes to clean up. And some of my kiddos like to stay later that are like walkers or like that our parents are coming to pick them up. They tend to kind of hang out. And so I'm like always constantly trying to kick them out. Like, you gotta go, you gotta go. So, I mean, I guess it's not a bad thing that they want to hang out with me. I mean, that's just my take on it. I mean, maybe they don't want to hang out with me. They just don't want to leave to go home. But I'm going to take it as they want to hang out with me. So, but yeah, so I'm going to pack up and then I'm going to head home. Today's my mom's birthday and I have no idea what we're going to do. It's a long story there, but I think we might have my sister and my brother come over with my mom and we might just celebrate it that way. But I don't know. So, maybe I'll check in a little bit later and kind of give you a little glimpse of what we do. I don't know. We'll see. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Just kidding. Hey, how's it going? Today it is Tuesday, February 13th, and I totally forgot to bring you guys along this morning. Well, I didn't forget. I thought about it, but then I got into a conversation with my sister about something that took place yesterday, last night, after my mom's birthday. Sorry, I didn't record anything for my mom's birthday. But, yeah, so we kind of went to my brother-in-law's house yesterday. And so there was, like, this whole big incident. And so I was talking to my sister this morning. You know how that goes. And then I totally forgot to pick up the camera. And then it's like I kept remembering, but then something came up. And so now I am sitting here all alone because everyone is gone. And so I was like, oh, I need a vlog. So I just wanted to give you guys a little rundown today. Look at my hair. It is crazy. So, yeah, so today we did, for each class, we did our against part. So we kind of wrote up the against for the chocolate milk, as well as some other facts on here that we had. And so we kind of just talked a little bit about that. They actually got to watch a video. So they have all these really good notes that they took pertaining to the thing. And so one of my kiddos, she was like, so what do we do now? Like, what side are we picking? And I'm like, whatever side. She goes, because we both have 8 good facts. And I'm like, whatever side you feel you're going to be on and that you're going to be able to give a strong case in your essay. So I think tomorrow we're going to start looking at how we can use those facts. And we're actually going to use an article as well to kind of utilize those facts to kind of start writing them in a paper. So one of the other things that we did today was we took an assessment. So for each unit, I don't know if any of you guys do Lucy Calkins. For each unit that we do, we have to do like a pre and post assessment. And so one of the things that we did was I had them do an opinion write. And so this was the writing. So it just says, look at the topics, list below. So I gave them about 5 topics. And then these were the components that they had to include, like a lead, transition, ending, organization. And so, I know it's like backwards, sorry. Here, okay, much better. So this was kind of like what I told them. And so what I did was, because when you look at our rubric, and I'll kind of show you a little bit about our rubric. Sorry. So we look at a rubric, these are the things that we grade on, right? We have lead, transition, ending, organization. And so I wanted them to get familiar with those terms. So when I gave them the assessment or the pre-assessment, I made sure that they included those things. But in the instructions, I said lead, and then I told them topic, statement, or beginning, because we kind of talked about topic, statement last week when we did the giving tree writing. Then we did transitions, and then we did words that show us stating a new paragraph, organization, so they can at least get themselves familiar with these words. My kids are at the door laughing at me. And then these were the topics. Hold on one second. My kids are being obnoxious. I love my kids. They're so funny. So I had to pause because they were all like, so here's my door. They were like right here. They were like all like against the glass, banging on the door. They're like, can we be in your video? So like if you're a vlogger and you like vlog and you have like middle school, 5th grade kids, oh my God, this hair. Yeah, they're going to always want to be in your videos. So that's where we're at. But anyway, so getting back to what I was saying. So yeah, so they did that. So my second class did that. So I have not had my first class do that. I'll probably have them do that tomorrow to kind of go through and see how they utilize what we did last week to kind of transition it to this. And then tomorrow, I think they're going to do another writing, but not necessarily. It's going to be more of a reading and answering 2 questions and kind of giving like a short answer. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that was pretty much our day. I mean, I feel like it just went by really fast. We also had a guest come in, our social worker that was kind of just talking a little bit. Some of our kids, I don't know if you guys are experiencing this, but some of our 5th graders are having like what we call 5th grade itis. And it's like, they're like on the cusp of getting to middle school. So, and they're like the biggest in the building, meaning like they're like the highest grade. So they kind of like have been here the whole time and they kind of feel like they run the school in terms of like the students. So they tend to be a little bit more aggressive, and we've started to notice that they've been a little bit mean to one another and just like name calling and just like not really coming up with good resolutions for like things that are happening. And so we had our social worker kind of come in and just talk a little bit about like empathy and just kind of some of the things that they're like lacking and that we're starting to see. So that took up about 30 minutes of our time. So that was one of the other things that we did that like kind of didn't give us as much as I would have liked in terms of work. I also had my pre-observation conference, and then she will be in tomorrow to do my evaluation. So that'll be good. So she's just gonna come and observe me do like a small group lesson with my 2 students that don't speak English very well. So I'm teaching them English. So tomorrow we're gonna be doing some letter sounds, some soft G and hard G words, because I just noticed today that they are struggling with that. Only because like they're struggling with the J sound, confusing it with like the J sound in English. And so I am going to switch up from what I'm originally was going to do to have them doing that tomorrow, because I feel like that's important for them, especially like as they're reading like decodable text. Like one of my students, he was like, instead of saying like, I will get something, it was like, I will jet something. And I'm like, it's, even though it has that G sound, it doesn't sound like a J, because there's obviously the 2 components of hard C and soft C. So that's my day. So I'm gonna finish up here. I'm gonna finish up here. I'm gonna try to see if I can get a little bit more stuff done before I go home, because I know once I go home, it's gonna be really hard to kind of get some stuff done with my kids, and I do need to get this prepared, because it's one thing if she was gonna come in the afternoon and I had periods to do it, but she's coming in like 20 minutes after school starts, and I won't have much time to do anything. And so I want to just make sure that I'm prepared and everything's good to go before she comes in. So I'll check in with you guys at the car on my way home, just to kind of give you guys any more rundown that I've missed if I remember. If not, I'll check in with you guys tomorrow again. Sorry I didn't check in with you guys all day today. I was busy, but yep, I'll check in with you guys hopefully later, if not tomorrow. Good morning and welcome to Wednesday. Happy Valentine's Day, my fellow people. So, today is the day of love. I'm excited. Well, I mean, I'm excited because I feel like everybody's in a joyous mood normally. I mean, I guess unless you didn't have a Valentine, but I'm hoping that in my environment, not the case, because you know, I don't know, kids hopefully aren't thinking about having a Valentine's, at least not 5th grade, but I don't know. So everybody's usually just in the spirit of like giving things and just being loved and being happy, all things pink, all things red. As you can see, I got my red sweater on, I got my red lipstick on. I know I had thought about getting like all those like teacher shirts or whatever, you know, but I don't know. I was just like, well, I'll just get, I mean, I guess if it was just me, I feel like I would totally be like on board with all of these like teacher things that like, I've seen a couple of like teachers that I follow on Instagram that have like a plethora of like, they have like a whole like other bedroom that is dedicated to their closet. And I am not one of those people. Not to mention the fact that I've never ever really been a fashionable person, and I don't know if you kind of noticed that like I don't do, if you like follow me on Instagram or anything, I don't do like outfits of the day. I don't really compliment, I mean, unless it's something that I really love, like the sweater I wore yesterday with all the dogs. That is like one of my favorite sweaters. I got it at Goodwill the beginning of the school year, well, like in the summer before school started, because I just wanted to get some more teacher clothes. And I just happened to find it, and I thought that it was absolutely fabulous. I've gotten so many compliments on it, and it's so cute. So, I mean, I don't know. I just like, so I'm not really big on like the outfits of the day, because I don't shop on Amazon. You know, ever since, I mean, this is kind of totally off topic, and I don't know if any moms that follow me can relate, but you know, I have my 5-year-old, I have my 6-year-old. I did have them back to back. So they are 11 months apart, so you know, people consider them Irish twins because they're born within a year of each other. And so I mean, it's not an excuse, but it's like having that lifestyle with my kids, like go, and then it's like now they are a little bit older. I mean, not old enough to where it's like I get time for myself, because they're still very like, they're independent, but they still want mama, or they still want things or whatever. And I don't know. And then, you know, working and then coming home to more children, I haven't really found motivation to work out. And so like, I am not physically fit. At least I'm not comfortable in my own skin to like parade myself with outfits of the day, or to like buy more clothes on like Amazon or wherever everybody's like buying clothes. I just don't, because it's like, I don't like, mentally I hate having to accept the size that I am, and then B, you know, I don't know, I just self-consciously, I just don't think that I look the best, or like I'm in the best. Like I see all these other girls and they're just like very fit and they're very beautiful, and I'm not saying that I'm not beautiful, because I think I am absolutely gorgeous. However, I just feel like body wise I'm just not comfortable enough to share it to like that. So yeah, so I really don't shop for me. And then it's like, it goes back to that whole like mom thing, where it's just like, you know, we'll spend thousands of dollars on our children, but then we won't even spend like $10 on ourselves. And, you know, it just, you know, and then it's just like, you know, like I said, mentally, I'm just not like motivated to go to the gym. And I think it just has a lot to do with just being so tired, but it also has a lot to do with, I don't know if I've like shared this or not, but like I feel like I have like, I feel like I have undiagnosed, or I had undiagnosed like postpartum depression from just having like back-to-back kids. Because with my second kid, because my son was like premature, I guess, I mean, I don't know this, I don't know if any of you moms have known this, but they ask that you like take hormones, like if you're, so every week I was going to the doctor and I was getting like a hormone shot like in every other arm every week, from like week 16 to like week 37, and I think it's just to build more hormones in your body, so that way you know, like with my son, because you know he was premature, like they want to make sure that you obviously carry your baby to full term, and I guess they think that hormones help. So I think just being exposed to like an abundance amount of hormones, along with what I produced, because I don't feel like my son was a product of like not having hormones. I just think that circumstances happen. Like I think from what I was told, like he had the cord wrapped around his neck, and I think that like scared him. And I think, you know, normally like when babies like come out the womb and then they like use the bathroom, it's not like really like, you know, normal bathroom stuff. It's like something called Macomb. And so I think from what they've told me was that he, I guess, let it out in the womb, and I think that is what kind of triggered the reaction of my water breaking. Like Mother Nature is crazy, but like I guess my body knew that something wasn't right and that there was something that was foreign, and so that's how my water broke, and that's how like he came about. So I don't think it was anything me wise that like I couldn't carry him to full term, because with my daughter I didn't really have that problem, and I was able to carry her to week 37, which they were okay with doing. And I think the only reason that we ended up doing it and inducing it week 37 was because I was like, I had like preeclampsia, or like pre-eclampsia, I'm not sure, like the one prior to it. So I think that was their like concern, but anyway, so the point of it was like I was getting all of these hormones, and I feel like that really like unbalanced me chemically. And so like I feel like sometimes I still have those remnants of postpartum depression. And I mean, I don't know, I never researched it to see like if it's something that goes away, or if it's something that like how long it stays, but I just feel like sometimes maybe I still have remnants of it. And so, you know, I mean, I have talked to my doctor, but you know, we do take measures and things of that nature. But it's just like, so my long rant was just to say that like I just went totally on a tangent, but my long rant was just not rant, but my long story was to just say that like this is kind of where I'm at, and this is why I don't wear like, and I don't do the outfits of the day, because I just kind of don't feel comfortable yet. And I hope that in the next like time frame that I do, you know, once my kids get older and they become less dependent on me, and just gives me time to like not really have to worry and do much, and them being able to, I mean, for the most part they can handle themselves, but like obviously they still need some sort of supervision. And so like I again feel guilty leaving them, or just leaving them with my boyfriend to go work out. And I mean, he's told me numerous times, like, if you want to do something, if you want to go somewhere, if you want to go to the gym, like, just go. But then it's like, then the other factors trigger in. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, sorry about that long story, but you know, it's like mom problems. So we go from teacher problems to mom problems. And so I don't know if anybody's watching this that can relate to that. So but anywho, so today we are having our Valentine's Day party in the afternoon. So in the morning, as I told you guys yesterday, I am getting observed by my principal. She's coming in to see my intervention block, which for those that don't know, it's just a block that like we provide like extra support for some students that need extra support. And so so it's like 30 minutes. And so some of my kids get pulled out of my class to get some extra support in just areas of need. And then like I have 2 students who don't speak English very well in my class, because they haven't really been here too long. And so so I pull them and just kind of teach them English basically. And so yeah, so she's just coming in to watch me do my small group, teaching them English, while my other students are just kind of working on like some of their things like spelling, vocabulary, fluency passages, comprehension, independent reading, those things. And so so yeah, so that's what's going to happen in the morning. And then in the afternoon, we're having our party from 2 to 3. So and the great thing about these parties is that like the parents volunteer, and so like they come in, they provide all the activities, they provide all of like the fun stuff for the kids to do. And so like I'm just basically a spectator, and then I help if they need assistance. But yeah, so the only downside to that, and I think that's with a lot of schools, not schools in the city though, because that I don't experience. I just think a lot of the schools in the suburbs don't do like candy anymore. They don't do like any kind of like food related. So like we couldn't have like a pizza party, or we can't like pass out candy, which, you know, in my other schools, like in the city, it's a little bit more lenient. Like parents don't care. Like, so we've had parents that come in and want to bring stuff, and so it's just a little bit different environment. So I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like it's not really a party. I mean, it is nice that the kids like pass out trinkets and cards and things, but I'm like, I just feel like it's not really, I mean, I guess like just not a party that I used to do, and like teaching and as a student. So anywho, I digress. But yeah, so this morning, that's what's going to happen. And then I think I'm going to give my pre-assessment to my morning group pertaining to like the writing that we did yesterday in my afternoon group about picking a topic and then just writing about it to kind of pre-assess them. And then we're going to continue working on the chocolate milk scenario, so that way they can eventually write an essay about like a topic that they choose, that they can write and then get facts from. And then we're going to go into learning about the debates next week, so that way they can start debating. And so yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I think my kids are really excited about debating. I think some of them are not, because they're not really, you know, they're very anxious about public speaking. But I am interested to see how they research. So, but yeah, that's about it. So I'll check in with you guys later to let you guys know how my observation went, to let you know how my pre-assessments went. I haven't graded my other ones. I just got them yesterday, and I was like, I'm not even thinking about those because I got to get prepared for today. So, but yeah, I'll let you guys know how that goes, and then I'll check in with you guys at PLC time. So I hope you're having a great day. I hope your day is filled with love. I hope there's so many people out there that are just, you know, spreading love and joy just because it is the day of love. And yeah, so I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. How's it going? So my day isn't really going the best. My observation didn't go too well. I chuck it up to Murphy's Law, where anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And that's kind of what happened to me. I had students that were like acting like we had never done any of this stuff before, asking questions like, what are we doing? Or what spelling packets are we doing? And it's like, they're all in your folder. And so I just had a couple of kids that were just like not really doing the best. And then just had some feedback about like working in my small group and circulating the room to make sure people are on task, like in the middle of my small group. So I don't know, just wasn't the best. Like, I don't know, I've been feeling really defeated this past month with teaching, and just like all of the different feedback and things that I've been getting. And I don't know, I'm just like, I love teaching. I love my students. I do. I really do. I love teaching them new things. I love being in class and watching them excited to learn about things, but I'm just not, I don't think I'm cut out for all the extra stuff, you know, that they want to see, and the show they want you to put on, and, you know, rating me. You know, I don't know, like, I feel like I would much be rather rated for, like, the content and the things that students are learning and, like, their scores than, you know, like, what I thought my job was. But apparently it's, you know, how kids are working, if they're off task, you know, it's my fault if they're not focused. And I don't know what to do. I'm just like really defeated right now. And it's just the reality of like teaching today. It's like we are blamed for so much, and we are scrutinized for so much. And I just wish that I could just be, you know, be judged for just my students learning. I see them growing. I see them learning things that they didn't know before, but I don't know. It's just not good enough for the on paper and the protocols that are in place for what I guess makes a distinguished teacher. So I don't know, I'm just feeling really defeated these past couple of weeks, this whole month of February. So I don't know. I guess I'll just have to go back to the drawing board with what I need to do differently. I don't know. But anywho, that's my day so far. It's noon. My boyfriend was nice enough to order me lunch for Valentine's Day. So, I mean, I brought my lunch, but he ordered me lunch anyway. So, I don't know what time or when it'll get here, but we'll see. I may just eat my lunch and then save it for later for my prep. I don't know. I mean, I didn't really bring much for lunch. I just brought a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, like a Uncrustables. I love those. I know I tell people all the time I am what I teach. But anyway. Yeah, I hope you're having a great day. But I will say that being a teacher on Valentine's Day does have its perks, because you get to see how sweet some of your students are. One of my students gave me this. She's so sweet. And just a bunch of like chocolate that's gonna make me gain 10 pounds. But other than that, I mean, yeah, my day's good. But yeah, so hopefully you guys are having a great day. And I'll check in with you guys later and see how things are going. Good morning and happy Friday. I know you're like, I went from Wednesday to Friday. So yesterday I just I wasn't feeling the best, not physically, but mentally. And so I just needed to take a mental health day. It was just very, I appreciate you guys listening to me rant about, just the structures of teaching and kind of what we go through and all that good jazz. And it's been a very stressful month for me, and it's just I've just been really feeling defeated in the sense that just my practices being questioned, and like things it's just like things that aren't really happening in the classroom just happen to happen during times that, it's like I say, like Murphy's Law, what can go wrong will go wrong. And it's like, it's like few times that this month that, my principal has come in. It's just been like during times of just like, chaos, or just the fifth graders being fifth graders and what we deal with on a daily basis, that we try to manage and maintain. And so just, getting scrutinized to that degree, and just not really getting any like positivity reflected back to you was it's just been very defeatist for me. And so I just needed to kind of recollect my thoughts, and just just take a step back and take a break. So it was a really good day. I got to take my son to school. He's been having some issues with this one girl in his class, and it's been kind of ongoing. And when I spoke to, because he has two teachers, he has like his like main teacher, and then he has he has co-teachers or whatever. I think she like co-teaches in the other kindergarten classes, but anywho, so I spoke to both of them yesterday, but I spoke to the first one, and as I told her, I'm like, I know kindergartners and kids are going to be kids, because my kids do the same thing at home, but this has been kind of ongoing with this little girl, and she's been making him feel really like upset and really bad. And then on Valentine's Day, she made him cry, because he was making a Valentine's Day heart, and I think he cut it in half because he was going to give up that part to my mom. And then she had asked him for one of his halves, and he had told her no, and so she ripped it up. And so he said he was crying, but the one thing he didn't do was he didn't tell his teacher. And so I told him, I'm like, from a teacher's perspective, if you don't tell somebody, closed mouths don't get fed. And it's like, if you don't tell somebody that somebody's bothering you, they're not going to be able to fix the problem. So I can't blame them. And even though I know we've had this conversation before, and my boyfriend's like, well, it's not a big class and they should be able to, and I'm like, yeah, but see, that's the difference between you and I. I'm like, I'm in the classroom. I've been there, done that. I've witnessed things happening in my room, or things have happened in my room that were out of my vision of sight, or sight of vision, or whatever, because you're dealing with a bunch of kids. And I mean, I'm dealing with 22 fifth graders, she's dealing with probably the same amount of kindergartners, and littler kids are easy to miss things. We do that at home as well. So, so I just spoke to her, and just kind of got like, we've gotten to the point now where we're just like, okay, well, if he comes back and he's complaining about other things, then, we might have to get parents involved, because, I'm like, I'm not going to have my son feeling like, this girl's just going to keep bothering him. And then who's to say that next year they don't have the same class together? And it's like, we just want to prevent any further repercussions. And I say that very, very strictly, because my boyfriend is not your average guy, and he's he will like take matters into his own hands, and that's probably not going to be good for anybody, because he's just like, no one's going to bully and mess with my son. And so, and unfortunately, he's one of those parents. So and as much as I can try talking him out of it, or trying to get him to understand. At the same time, I just know that bullying and just like these kind of situations, you know, can lead to something, you know, more aggressive, or, you know, and she's even like threatened my son. And I mean, not in that sense, but like she's told him before that like her sister would rip him apart or whatever, just basically saying like her sister would beat him up. And so, you know, I'm like, those are things that I don't want my son to be associated with, because if something were to happen to my son, I would not be good. Would not be good. So, but anyway, so that was kind of what my day was Saturday or Thursday. So I went to go take him to school. I went to, I just did some things at home, and it was just, like I said, it was just really nice to be able to just kind of like take a step back. And so even after the situation, and when I thought about it and just some of the things that, you know, were said, I said, you know, I can't get upset about things that I can't control how other people perceive things. Everybody perceives things differently. And if her perspective was that things did not go well and all these things were taking place, then the only thing that I can do at this point, I mean, I can try to defend what happened, but I just feel like it's one of those things where it's just like, if someone sees something some way, I just don't really see anything like changing. So I'm just like, you know, I'm just going to digress and just kind of, you know, try to do better next time. Anyway, yeah, so today it's Friday, and so today we have Dare. We have a half day today, so the kids will only be with me until about 11:30. So we'll have Dare in the morning, and then we'll probably do a making words activity or something of that nature, something fun with words, and then or maybe I'll print something out like Boggle and then see how many words they can make. Just something to do educational, like fun educational for Friday. And then they have like specials, and then I think when they come back they have library, and then after that we are going home. And well, we aren't, but the kids are, which is nice because go ahead. All right, whatever. And yeah, so the kids will be in school, or they'll be leaving at 11:30, and then we'll be in school till 3:30. And so then that'll be it. And then we have a 3-day weekend for President's Day, woohoo, which is much needed. And then that is it. This weekend I have my cousin's birthday party. He's turning 50, and so he's throwing like this big like ballroom theme where it's like everybody has to dress fancy and like they're, you know, like Dancing with the Stars type thing, because he loves Dancing with the Stars. So we're gonna go to that on Saturday, and then today I think we're gonna go out to dinner. If you are a local and you follow me, we're gonna be going to Kuma's Corner, which is like this great place in Fulton Market in Chicago, where they serve burgers, and they do like the gourmet burgers, so like pretzel bread, and they do like all kinds of different like things. They just have like an abundance amount of like burgers that they've created, and they're super good, and I haven't been in so long. And so my boyfriend originally was like thinking that he wanted to go somewhere not necessarily fancy, but it was like more upscale. So he was just like, oh, you want to go to Wildfire, but they close early, and you know, it's just like, I don't know. I'm like, I'd rather just go here. Like, I'm very simple. I am nowhere near bougie, so I'm just very simple. And so that's kind of where that's what we're gonna do tonight. And then tomorrow, like I said, we're gonna go to that party, and then my daughter has gymnastics tomorrow as well, and then on Sunday my son has a soccer game, and then on Monday my son has a doctor's appointment, and he's off too, obviously. So he has a doctor's appointment, so I'm gonna take him for his just like annual physical, and then I'm gonna see if I hook up with Officer Allison, because last time we tried to do it where she was gonna give my kiddos a tour of like the police station, and then like have them like see her like truck, like her car, her police car, but we couldn't because she had her shift change. So I'm gonna see if she's gonna be available Monday to like have them see it or whatever. And that's gonna be my weekend. But I will check in with you guys a little bit later. Maybe I'll get some footage of Officer Allison today doing her dare. And then I think this week our lessons are like, we're gonna be like doing like bullying and some other lesson, which will be really good because a lot of the 5th graders right now, I wouldn't necessarily say they're bullying, but they're more so being not very nice to one another, and like the way they talk to each other is just like, and they think that like they're being harmless and saying like phrases like calling people stupid or just dumb or whatever, and just like saying things, and they think that it's just like, it's just banter, so it's okay. And so that would be some good lessons for them. So I'll see if I record Officer Allison, maybe get some of my kids doing some kind of fun activity. I don't know. Anywho, I'll check in with you later. Sorry about the long rant. I just was kind of catching you guys up on yesterday and today. But yeah, I'll check in with you guys in the middle of the day and see how things are going. Hopefully you're having a great Friday, and I will see you guys later. Hey, how's it going? So I am on my way to lunch with the girls. My thing got switched to, my post-conference got switched to about 1:15, so I only have about an hour and 15 minutes to have lunch with the girls. So I am on my way there. So I didn't get a chance to record. It would have been nice to be able to record those, the session with Dare, because the kids were doing like, they were doing like acting out. She had given them like 4 scenarios on like peer pressure, and so they did a really good job, and it was really funny. But I was just so like into the acting that I didn't even record it, but it was so great. And so I think that the kids had a lot of fun with it. And then we just had specials, and then that was pretty much our day. It was pretty quick. So right now until about the end of the day, till 3:30, we it's just like kind of us on our own. So we are going to lunch, and then I'm going to come back and then do my post observation conference. And then I have a doctor's appointment at 3. So I'm going to go to that. And then after that, I'm just going to go home and then get ready for dinner this evening. So I think I'm going to end the vlog here. I know this was a very short vlog, not my typical, because I usually am a little bit more long-winded. but yeah, so I think I'm going to end the vlog here, because I mean, after today, like, I'm just going to be sitting in my class going over things. I mean, I don't know, maybe I will I can actually just do some of those like fast recordings of me cleaning up my classroom. I don't know if I'll have time for that, but if not, I will end the vlog here. And I hope that you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I hope that everything goes well. And if you are working this weekend, your shift goes by quick. And if you're not working this weekend and you're a teacher like the rest of us, everything goes good for this 3-day weekend. So I just want to say, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Hopefully you enjoyed this week, and I just wanted to say that I appreciate each and every one of you that like my video, that comment, that subscribe. And just rest assured, if you are commenting or you do have any sort of comments or like questions, I almost always reply to everyone. So please feel free to message me with any comments, concerns. So yeah, but again, thank you so much. You are so appreciated by me. You have no idea.